with instruments and with voice. We all speak the same one, so if you are taught it, you can take a group of people, and they can be from all over, and you can hand them a book and ask them to read it to you, and most of them are not going to be able to read it because they don't have the same language. But if you take the same group of people, and you hand them a piece of music, and they have their instrument or their voice, they will all be able to create the most beautiful music that you've ever heard. So I'm going to break down a little bit of this beginning part of learning the language of music. As with any language, you have an alphabet. Music uses the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or as it's called solfege, which is do, re, mi, fa, la, so, ti, do, and it just keeps repeating itself. If you take your music, of course, each music and each sound has notes. The notes is what gives us our pitch and our names. We have a quarter note, which is commonly used, and it can be this way on your music, or it actually appears like this. You also have a half note, and you also have a whole note. Now, there are also many other different types of notes, but I'm just going to go over the basics so that you can see how easy it is to start speaking this language. We are also, as in sentences that we create in our English language, we use certain sentence structures. In our language of music, we also have things that would represent like a period for us to be to stop. A comma would be to take a breath. We use rests, and these rests tell us not to make any sounds at all. They have different names also, which is a quarter rest. We have your half rest. And if you take that same rest and turn it upside down, it would be a whole rest. In order to put all of these onto music so that it makes sense, we put them on a staff. A staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces. On that staff, you commonly use what is called a treble clef. The reason why it's called a treble clef is because when you put it on your staff, it is placed in a certain part where the circle comes around, and it is placed on that second line, and that is commonly also called a G clef. And the reason why that is because each line and each space is assigned a name, a solfege name, or the letter name. Also, when you take that staff, you put on your numbers, which is called a time signature. That is going to tell us how many notes that we get to count, and so that we stay up with the same one, because everybody knows how to speak, everybody counts, so therefore it's very universal. When you take that, in order to keep your measures so that your music is in tune and you stay with the rhythm, we divide it into measures. So after each 4 counts, they would draw a line, and then you have different measures. When we take those notes and we put them on the lines, we then come up with a letter name. The first line, which actually drops below, is called middle C, or do. And as we continue to go up the staff, your notes get higher with their pitch. Then on the first space is always D. And as you can continue to climb, you have E on the first line. Your second space would be F. Your second line would be C. Your second space would be A, and then your third line would be B, your third space would be C, and it continues. Then you start over again with your letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It just continues to go. So then, in order to remember it, sometimes they use a phrase for your space, and they call it space. It's spelled space, F-A-C-E. And as you continue to go, it just repeats. When you take those sounds, and you go up, and your song is going to come to an end. At the end of the staff, you have a double bar line. You would put 2 lines at the end of it. Now, as we're coming to playing our music, and we put it all together, obviously your different sounds are going to create different music. You can have your music to represent to go fast. Then they will tell you as a time signature to keep up the beat. You have certain terms of adagio. Adagio, which is universal, which obviously means slow, and you learn these, and you have andante, which would be fast. So when you take this music and it's handed to them, they immediately see where these notes are drawn and what notes that they're going to start playing with. They see that it's 4 times, so they're going to have 4 counts to each measure. And they also then are going to look at your notes. When your quarter note, you get 1 count. So therefore, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to your whole note, then they hold it for 2 counts. As you create this and you play all of this, then you're going to end up with a beautiful piece of music. Now, if you apply these facts as I've taught them, you can take a group of kids, a group of old people, it doesn't matter the age, and they're able to create music for you. And I would like to show you how a group of children can take an instrument, whether it's their voice or even if they would use their hands, how they're going to play Twinkle Twinkle for you. We are using the instrument of bongo sticks. And so I would like you to please watch what they're going to play for you right now. Now, as you have seen and heard, music is a language that can be spoken no matter what dialect is used. Music is very beneficial. It invigorates you. It gives the emotion that you want to portray, whether it's happy or sad. It's something easy, and it's something that can be shared with everyone.